I listened to a presentation from Reggie Henry where he talked about shift happens, change your paradigm, and it really struck a chord with me. It got me thinking about why don't we, as associations, change more frequently? What makes that difficult? And I came up with the answer of baggage. Baggage affects how we perceive others, but it also affects how they perceive us. And for associations, our baggage comes from a lot of places. Some of it's really obvious in our interdepartmental relationships. Some of it's a little bit hidden. And it comes from membership programs that are kind of old and outdated. It comes from the number of events that we do, the number of publications that we have. And it's not that these things are bad, but when they add up, if they start to weigh us down instead of lifting us up, that becomes a problem. So signs of baggage are things like declining membership, declining event registrations, declining readership. We've all been talking about these same problems, but we can't put our finger on what the problem is. And because it kind of creeped up on us, right? It's really hard to pinpoint that baggage. But once you're aware of it, if you can spot it and do something about it, then you're empowered to make some changes and start adjusting to that shift. So obvious baggage, right? Interdepartmental relationships. All of that builds up from things like the time the executive director gave us a project but didn't give us budget. The time that IT and marketing couldn't get the email out that day, right? And those things add up, and suddenly we expect less of each other. And we get really frustrated, and we hold that against each other. And that's just not cool, right? Because that's holding us back. It's keeping us from innovating. But it's not just that. It's also things like our sacred cows or our unicorns that have become so bloated in how we present them. And they're weighing us down when we should be soaring. We should be doing this stuff. And these things are staring us in the face. They're obvious. They're right there. And so we have to acknowledge them and decide to do something about it. So if you know that you have baggage, you're starting to think about what is my association's baggage? How can I do something about it? And you're also thinking, well, our members like these things. They want us to do the same stuff year after year. You have to balance innovation and moving the industry forward together with thinking about how you want to design your association, move things forward, but also together with being consistent. So if you were to create an association today, brand new association, what would you design? What would you come up with? How would you design your membership program? Would you really have 20 programs? Would you really have 6 publications or 10 events a year? Would you do all that stuff? Is activity really equated with progress? Are we doing the right things? Because we're making a choice to do that. And it's really hard to innovate, right? Because we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, which is our classic excuse. But it's just not cool. It's not enough. We need to do more. We need to put ourselves out there. Because in the end, we choose our baggage. We get to decide what we want to do. And when we've let things add up, and we use the excuse of we've always done it that way, that's a choice too. So don't carry that with you and adjust. Become available to understanding what shifts may come along. Because when shift happens, we have a really normal reaction to it, right? We start getting frustrated. It starts building up within us. And suddenly, right, suddenly we start thinking, wait a second, I don't want to do it that way. Why can't I do it the way that I used to do it before? But you can't do that anymore. It's not enough. And if you start asking questions like, holding back or locking things down or keeping things the way that they were, you're making room for your competitors. And they will come in with a new approach. So baggage ultimately becomes a roadblock to innovation. So if you have baggage and it's holding your association back, what do you do about it? In the end, you let go. It's a decision. It's a choice. You have to decide what you want to be and decide how you're going to lay that foundation. And then you go out there and you do it. You get it done. You make that choice to say, I'm going to go and be a beast and do something revolutionary and prove everyone wrong. And you go and just be amazing. And I know associations can do that. So as you pack your baggage, I recommend that you pack your bags light and pack them wisely. Thank you.